What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Tough Friends Don't Last podcast. I'm your host, Graham Powell. There's co-host Michelle Zangulis on the other screen over there. Say, man, this is a great day to be alive, Michelle.
Man, this is a great day to be alive, Michelle.
All right, good job. All right, so let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor before we get started. The Tough Friends Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok at TR Don't Last. Okay, tell us about your workout routine this week, Michelle, because you were slacking a little bit last week.
Yes. I worked out 3 times this week. I did do a just like a 20-minute thing on Sunday of last week.
What's a 20-minute thing?
Bike ride.
Okay.
And then I did 2 other 30-minute bike rides. So I did one, I think, on like Tuesday and one on yesterday. So 3 different times.
All right. So I was going to ask how you do 3. For those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube, you did it which way?
Like a sane person.
Okay, this is how I do 3.
So that's weird.
No, it's in the movie Inglorious Bastards. Like there's a whole thing about it. Apparently, I don't remember which was which, but I think I might do it the German way. I don't know. It's more comfortable to me. This is like too much. It's too much. I don't know. I don't like it. My
Well,
pinky naturally doesn't want to go that
to each their own.
way. All right. So you rode the bike inside, correct?
Only inside.
It is very hot right now. We're officially at mid-July here in Central Arkansas. It gets very warm. It's been in the 90s and the high 80s pretty much all week. I I got I got 3 runs in this week, counting the race I did yesterday. Had the 13th Grand Prix race of the 2024 Grand Prix series. That's 13 of 20, so 7 more to go. I have pretty much 1 month until the next one, which is a 5K. It's in Hope, Arkansas, the Watermelon 5K. So maybe I'll get some watermelon after.
One would
I've
hope.
never done this race. I've known about it. It's been a Grand Prix race for as long as I can recall, but I've never done it, so it'll be first time for me. I haven't been to Hope since I was a sports reporter, and they had the 5A softball tournament there, and I went down there and covered it. Might have. I don't think I stayed the night. I don't recall. That was a while ago. So it's been a while since I've been to Hope, the birthplace of President Bill Clinton, correct?
Yes.
All right. So Hope, Arkansas, August 10th. That's my next race. So we've got a while, or I have a while, but I will try to use that time wisely, continue to try to get better. The race I did yesterday was the longest title of a race. Let's see if I can remember this. The Brent Morrison 8K, no, the Brent Morrison Memorial No Runners Forgotten 8K.
There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that right on the first try, but that was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is northwest Arkansas. I told you yesterday, I knew it was a big city for Arkansas, but I didn't realize that 90,000 people was the population. It was, technically 89,000 and change, but, it's 90,000. But the race itself, I say Fort Smith, but it was technically in Barling, which is right outside of Fort Smith. And yeah, it was a good day. It was like 70, it said 75 at the start. It didn't feel like it. It felt much hotter than that. And Northwest Arkansas, there are a lot of hills. And some of my Cabot people, some of my cruisers weren't prepared for that. Um, they may have known about it, but they weren't prepared for it. Cabot is a much flatter area here in central Arkansas. But me having lived in Northwest Arkansas for 7 years, I was well aware of what we were getting ourselves into. And I felt good. It was a good race. I came in under 40 minutes, which was good for me. I actually finished dead last in my age group. So I was 7 of 7. Now, the guy that won our age group is our fastest guy in the cruisers, and he got fourth overall. And I am in a very competitive age group, but yeah, I got dead last. Like I had a really good race, and I was dead last. So that's always kind of or funny to me,
Yeah.
and that happens. Years ago, I did a 10K in 2019 in Searcy, excuse me, and I it was a PR at the time. It was like 48. It was 48 minutes and change, and I was dead last in my age group. I was 4-4, and it was funny to. And then it was like the 30 to 34 age group. That's always the age group. Once you hit like 30 and 40s, like low 40s and anywhere in the 30s, that's always a very competitive group. More, I don't know, just more of us participate. Anywhere in the 20s, it's you're probably going to, if you're a 20 something year old and you're out there, you're probably going to place in your age group because not many of them do it. Example, at that race, I got fourth, just top three get, awards or whatever, your medal or whatever it is, an age group award. And the guy that won the age group below us, 25 to 29, I beat him by like 12 minutes. So that's just an example there. But hey, kudos to him for showing up at 25 or 26 or however old he was.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing many races then either, so I get it. Good for him. But yeah, I had what I thought was a strong showing yesterday, and I was prepared for it. The Batesville run that I did last month was one that humbled me very much. I didn't feel like I did very well there. People were beating me that don't normally beat me. And I mean, it's not like a shame to lose to them, but it's like I could have been better prepared, and that woke me up. So my training has been a lot better, been more consistent since then, and that showed yesterday because a lot of those same people that beat me at that race, I smoked them yesterday, which was, I guess, a good sign. But again, no shame losing to some of those people. Like they were, I mean, they're fast runners, and sometimes it's just not your day. Like it wasn't. I wasn't very prepared that day, and it just wasn't my day. I ran out of gas earlier than expected, and it was the first hot race of the year. I didn't feel like I just didn't feel ready for it. Yesterday it was still very hot and very hilly, much like Batesville. I mean, Batesville was the same way, but I don't know. I was better prepared for it this time around. So it was a good day, and I did the smart thing of going up to Fort Smith the night before. It's a 2.5 hour drive from where I live, and everybody else in my run club came that morning. Came the morning of, like left at 3:30 a.m.
Nope.
It was, yeah, I was in bed in my La Quinta Inn king size or bed at 3:30 a.m. I was sound asleep.
Same.
It was an early start, 7 a.m. race. Dexter did wake me up at 5. No, that's not true. I woke up at 5:10 because I had to pee, but Dexter wanted to go outside, and I was on the third floor. But okay, well, I gotta go. I might as well just do this now. So I went to the elevator, got him, went to the elevator. He did his thing. I thought it was weird. Some people were leaving, like checking out that early, while I was before 5:30 a.m. We're checking out and going, like leaving to go home. I thought that was odd, but I guess they were ready to get home.
If,
Everybody's got their reasons.
yeah, if I'm traveling, like I'm gonna get up early and leave.
Really?
Yeah. Like I drove to New Jersey for Thanksgiving during like right after Thanksgiving a couple years ago. My cousin got married and um I stayed halfway and I was leaving at like 5:45 the hotel to get back on the road to get to New Jersey, and then I did the same thing on the way back.
For an 11 a.m. checkout, I assume.
Probably.
Yeah, I checked out, like I was handing my keys in and getting a copy of my receipt at 10:50. And my checkout was at 11. I'll be out of there on time, but I'm gonna milk that. Like after it was a 7 a.m. race, and like everybody's drenched, I mean drenched in sweat. It was very hot, and which I like. I kind of like that. So, but I got back to the room. My drive was 10 from the hotel to the race site was 10 minutes. 10-minute drive, like 4.5 miles. So I'm telling myself I'm okay, I'm gonna go ahead and like get ready, and that way I'm gonna really take my time to get out of there. I got there and I walk in and it's like it's 67 degrees in the room. It's a hotel room. So I cranked the air down to 67. I would have cranked it down even more had I thought the AC could handle it, but I was like, no, it was a big room, big spacious room. So like, no, let's just do 67. And but I walk in and just you get that breeze from the room, like the cool room, felt great. Dexter was asleep on the couch. And I looked at my clock. I said, you know what? I can take like a 20-minute nap. I mean, that bed was looking very good, that king size bed. But I think I'll just take a 20-minute nap. 20 minutes turned into 30. Plus, the room was black because, they had the blacked out curtains. So it was just very inviting to take a 20 to 30-minute nap. No regrets there. I actually didn't go to sleep, but my body got into relaxation mode enough to where it was kind of hard to get up when it was time to get up.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out La Quinta Inn. I'll be back up there in a couple months for a 10K, the Stampede 10K, another Grand Prix race. So I at least know where I'm going to be staying next time. So five-star review for the La Quinta in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I'm gonna have to give them a shout out on Google. I told Sarah I would. Sarah with the H.
Plus, there were stray cats.
Oh, should I talk about that? I completely forgot about
Yes.
it. Okay, so I get there and I park in the back. I'm not gonna talk about the other thing, but that you know what I'm talking about. That's off air stuff. Nothing too criminal. There's nothing criminal. Nothing too bad. I'll say that. All right. The other thing, the stray cats thing, I have to park at the back. So as I'm pulling into this, I don't want to park up against the building because I think everybody's going to park there when they get there. And I try to avoid door dings as much as possible with my car. So uh, or I start to pull into a spot against the fence, which is the back part of that parking lot, and I see this really little kitten, like really little stray kitten, just going around. It's around the garbage. It's looking for something to eat. Just made me feel terrible. So once I get settled in, I take Dexter out and I go out and I see another kitten. It's a bigger kitten, but it's another kitten. and this is like flat concrete, and there's condensation. Somehow water got on the concrete, but there's no puddle or anything, and that cat was trying to drink off of that. So that hurt my heart. So I went to the breakfast area, or I said, "Hey, do y'all have any just styrofoam?" It's at night at this point. At this point, it's I don't know 8 9 p.m. So I just went to the front desk. I said, "Hey, do you have any styrofoam bowls or anything?" Not telling them what I'm doing it for. They said, "Yeah, over there." So I go grab a handful of them, and I just go upstairs. I brought all of my dog's wet food, just because it was easier. Just grab the whole case. So I took some of Dexter's wet food. I put it in a bowl and took a bottle of water with me because I obviously can't carry a full bowl of water all the way from my room on the third floor to outside without spilling anything. So I go and there's a big I don't think it was a dumpster pod, but I think it was for probably moving old beds or something like that. And it was out there for basically to get rid of things. And it was a huge pod. Um, so I just went and put the bowl of food down behind it, just where they could have some privacy, not be out in the open. And put the other bowl beside it, filled it up with water, and I went back out. I went back out that night before because I took my dog out one more time. Yeah, Dexter came with me, by the way. I liked that it was only a $25 pet fee. That was extremely reasonable. Loved it. But quick side note. But I go back. I was like, let's just see if because that cat that was drinking off the ground or trying to saw me, and I was making it known, hey, I'm putting something back here for you. Come when you're ready. And I go back there and look just to see if they did anything, and like half the bowl was gone, and all of the broth or gravy was completely dry. So it was gone. So they at least licked that up and ate half of it. After the race the next morning, I just go look, and this is as I'm there. I haven't even went back up to my room yet. I was like, well, I'm back here. I'll go look, and the bowl was completely empty. So when I checked out, I in the room, I just put a whole can in there, completely filled it up, and just put it back there. They still had plenty of water from yesterday. So some stray cats at least got to eat good and get hydrated for at least a couple of days.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah, made me feel good, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not I suppose, made me feel good. Okay, let's uh let's talk about what I got at the race.
Yes.
I'm wearing a tank top. I never wear tank tops. I think my lats look okay in it. That's about the only thing. I don't think I look good in tank tops. I agree with you. Like I'm too pale for it. I don't lift anymore. So it's not like my arms are being shown off or anything like that. I don't know. Uh, my buddy in my run club who actually does the shirts for us, he even said like you got to get a tank next, because he got me a shirt, and he's like next you need a tank, and I'm like, I don't really like tanks. I don't like tanks for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think I look good in them. Two, when you're running and your arms are moving back and forth, I don't like the rub. I don't like the rub from the inside of my upper arm up against the side of my chest,
Yeah.
or next to my chest. I don't like that rub. It'll chap after a while. Like if you're running like in a half marathon or greater, it chaps. At least it does me. I don't know how other people, I guess body glide.
Yeah.
I guess that's how they avoid it. Because I see pacers do it like a guy that he paces marathons and he's done 500 plus. He's always in a tank. So I can only assume that's what he uses, body glide, etc. But I just prefer a short sleeve like tech shirt. Just give me a short sleeve tech shirt if it's hot. I'm good with that. That's enough for me. I will we'll talk about the shirt I forgot, but first we'll discuss the tank I'm rocking. For those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube, I'm showing you.
For those of you not, it is a
It's
gray
very weird.
top. It looks like it has like a fan, like a not a fan, a flag or a banner in the background that's being carried by a rooster. Like that's my interpretation of what this is.
That's what it is. Yes.
Okay.
It was in my drawer. I got motivated when I got home after I cooked everything and I unpacked and put everything away, even put my laundry away. Like, well, I'm up and doing this and I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I might as well just knock this out so I don't have to later. I like the tank for a tank. I'm just not big on tanks in general. But they handed me, and of course I'm exhausted at the finish line because I got an all-out sprint with the guy who passed me at the very end of the race in Batesville. He passed me at the very end, and he was ahead of me for most of this race, especially down the. We actually traded back and forth quite a bit during the race. And he's not in my age group, so it's not that big of a deal one way or another, but it's just a natural competition thing. Like when I'm at the end of the race, I'm like, I want to see if I can beat that person, guy or girl. And we got to the end, and I was just steadily gaining on him. And I was like, I got a shot. And the top runner in our club, Chris is his name. He was cheering everybody on, all the cruisers on as they're coming up to the finish. He was like, good job, Graham. And by this point, he'd been done for 10 minutes, and he's probably dry at this point. But he was yeah, cheering everybody on, and I thought I can beat this guy. And so we were kind of neck and neck, and then it got competitive, just naturally competitive as we saw the finish. And I'm just in sprint speed, I'm much faster and had more in the tank. And yeah, I beat the guy, and we actually talked like after and was just, shooting the breeze. But he's older, so I hope I'm not much older, but he's definitely older. So I mean, hopefully I can run that fast. But it was fun to get a little competitive there at the end. But as you cross, I'm gassed at this point. I was prepared for it, but I was still very gassed. So they hand you what I'm thinking is a medal. I don't know. Yeah, I'm tired. I don't. It's not. These races aren't your typical half marathon or marathon where they just give you a medal at the end of them. A lot of times you get nothing, but they're handing me what I think is a medal, and this is what they gave me. It was just a little.
So
That's what's
laminated.
on. Well, this
Okay.
is what's on the tank. Like that's what's on the tank,
Yeah.
and basically a save the date and they give you the date of next year's race, so July 12th of next year. And I thought they were handing me like a key fob. I was like, why am I getting like a massive key fob? I was told this is a coin purse,
Yes.
and I guess I knew that. But anybody that knows me knows that my coins go in a red Solo cup that sits in the door of my car, and I try to use them as much as possible. But yeah, a coin purse and then a bottle opener. Try to get it out of the glare here, which is always fun. They did have beer and Fireball, and I think mimosas too, at a certain point in this race. So for those that weren't running quite as fast or wanted a break, definitely stopped and got some. A lot of people stopped and got water yesterday, got water, Gatorade, whatever. I didn't do it once. I was
Oh,
like, it's a 5 mile race. I got this. I really don't stop and do that unless it's a half marathon or greater. That's the only time I'll do it. It's like it slows me down. I mean, it's a Grand Prix. I respect the race series. Not saying other people don't, but I'm capable of running the whole thing without that distance, without needing something, needing to. I'll do all that after. But yeah, found it interesting. It's like let's just throw a on a lanyard or what's the cord? Is that right?
that's a lanyard.
Okay. Yeah, let's just throw some stuff on, hand them to them. to them at the end. Like, all right, cool. Different. Reminder, hey, come back next year. Here's something for your coins, because I guess most people just have coins laying around, flying around. I don't know. All mine going to Solo Cup, like I said. And a bottle opener, because that's always a good idea. I'm always game for that.
Yeah.
But found that interesting. The other thing, uh, you've asked, or you asked me if I made it to the group photo, because all the clubs do a group photo, usually before each race,
Yes.
sometimes after. And most of ours are done before. I did make it to the group photo, but I stood out
Yes.
very much so in the photo, and not in a good way, because everybody's got their cruiser, like red cruiser shirts on. And I have on just a purple tech shirt that I work out and run races in. And I was, all right, so going the night before or the day before, did a couple of things. I didn't pack Thursday night. I left Friday. I didn't pack Thursday night because I worked late so that I could get out of work early Friday. So so I'm not going to pack. I was like, I'm not going to pack. I don't need, I'm only staying one night. I need clothes to, I need shorts and a shirt to lounge in the room the night before. I need clothes to leave in the next day, and just clothes to run in.
Mhm.
That's all I need. And then you're just basic essentials after that. So that Friday, I'm kind of in a hurry. I get out of work at a good time, but I haven't eaten lunch. I skipped lunch so I could leave as soon as possible. So I get home, I'm hungry, so I eat, and then do other things, go to the bathroom, and then I start to pack. And I'm trying to get out of there, but I don't want to forget anything. I feel like I got everything in the car. I get up there, I get checked in, take the dog out, feed the stray kittens, do all the good things, Google what's around me, which the good thing about where I was, you're right in the middle of Fort Smith. So you got access to everything. So there were plenty of restaurants, and there was a Mediterranean place. I don't know, Patsy's maybe? Paizis. Mediterranean Cafe, I believe. Very good. I went in, I got your traditional bureau, which was massive, and I got some kind of rice to go with it as a side dish. For 2024, very reasonably priced. With the tip, it was like 16.50. So not bad if you're wanting to eat decent the night before. And which I needed to shower after that, by the way. I mean, it was so messy, but so good. But as I'm eating, it just suddenly hits me. I forgot my cruiser shirt. Like I had that moment of panic, and then I was like, I mean, oh yeah, I don't need it. It would just have been good to have. But yes, I would have liked to have had it for the group photo. I felt very out of place while taking the photo, and then looking at the photo after, which is the cover photo of our Facebook page. I'm the guy in the purple. I'm the weirdo in the purple that wasn't wearing his shirt.
It's also like in the back on the end, awkward. Like you look like you've like snuck into this group's photo that you just were like group photo, and then you ran up really quick and posed. Like that's what it looks like.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does look like that. And everybody was like, no, it's fine. Who cares? And well, I do after looking at it, but not that much, I guess. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But yes, it looks that way. It does look that way. That's the spot I tend to go to for a group photo, though, because I'm not short enough to be on the front. I'm not tall enough to be in the middle of the back. And I'm not going to do the squatting T-Rex pose that girls do for group photos. I'm not going to do that. Now their hands are on their, legs usually above their knees, but I
You
can't
said
think of another.
so.
Well, that's what I think of every time I see that, because that's just kind of how the T-Rex walked around, kind of just hunched over like that. Uh, but it was, yeah, that's always where I tend to go. So like I said, I'm not tall enough to be in the middle part of the back. If I want to be seen, I got to be at the back, but at the side. And but yes, it did look like that. Absolutely looked like that. I will definitely remember my cruiser shirt next time.
Good idea. Good
All
idea.
right, what are your plans for next week, Michelle? And what am I missing?
Well, I actually have something that I would like to talk about.
Well, let's talk about it because you are a co-host of the show.
I am. So the Little Rock Marathon registration opens in 2 days. Hang on, they have a countdown. 2 days, some odd hours. I don't know. The countdown disappeared. Um, until the registration opens. So they have been, I don't know if you've paid attention to their Facebook at all, but they have been teasing what the theme might be. So was wondering if you had any guesses because they might announce the theme this week, and I feel like it could be fun for us to guess and then be able to say next week if we got it right or not.
Well, I actually heard somebody in my run club mention that yesterday that the theme will be revealed today.
Oh.
I don't know if that's accurate. We might want to check the Facebook real quick and see.
Okay, well,
But I heard
before I check, just in case the theme is released, I feel like we should make guesses. So the Easter eggs or things that have been put out, there was breakfast at Tiffany's. There was a post that mentioned that Arkansas used to be the Diamond State. There was a post,
used to be. Still the diamonds. Well, we're the natural state, but I
yeah,
mean that's the
but
flag. But yeah, we're the diamond state. We're
we
known as
still
that.
are, but it used to be like the name. And
Yeah,
so
what's the name again? Can you sign language the name again? Okay, thank you.
and then there was one of those flailing arm, inflatable flailing arm mans. Um, there was one of those, but it said something like it's not this or something like that.
Can you show us again how they do?
No, if you missed it,
Last time. This is the last time I'll do this.
if you missed it, I'm so sorry. I did it twice, so
That was
it's
great.
so do you have any guesses at what it might be?
Um, I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's breakfast at Tiffany's. I would say maybe like a old school vibe like that because they've done the '80s one, so I don't think they that was within the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know that they'll do a decade thing.
Oh, there was one more, sorry. Um, it's a giant stone head and it says you won't have to wait long to find out the theme. And it says alert, this is an Easter egg.
This is
Yes.
okay.
I feel like it's gonna be like bling stone, like something like that, like because it's rocks, it's Diamond State. Breakfast at Tiffany's was very like fancy. I feel like it's gonna be kind of like bling-ish.
My cat's up and about. And she's coming in here. That makes me mildly nervous. Uh, sorry, it's distracting me a little bit because she likes to get into everything.
He does. She's a good cat, though. Actually, she's not a good cat. I am mad at her. So
She is a great
we're
cat.
gonna get to meet her, everybody. This is Graham's cat,
She's a
Ichabod.
but I didn't know that till after she was named, and it's just easier to keep the name. Her eyes got big when she saw that screen. She's like, "What the hell is that? Is this that's going on?" She's in my lap at the moment. So okay, so like bling, something like that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I think they're known for their blings. I'll say the something along the lines of having okay, and the cat just did that. All right, we're gonna have to wrap this up soon because she's being crazy. Um, yeah, I'll say rock, something like a diamond, something like that.
Okay.
So, do they have something available, or
Um,
they revealed it yet?
no. So they posted today so far is just a reminder that registration opens on Wednesday.
Stop. Now she's trying to eat insulation. So it's Wednesday that they're revealing.
No, the registration opens Wednesday.
Okay. Well, let's check and see if they've revealed it.
I did. They have not.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about next week the reveal. That'll probably be a big part of the episode because I don't have any races until August 10th.
Yeah.
Now they do have a trail run this weekend. I can't remember where it's at, but they have like a 50K, a 25K, which I would be interested in doing a 25K as a trail race. I'm not going to make my first trail race at 50K, which is 31 miles for those of you wondering. For you American citizens that don't follow the metric system, yeah, that would be 31 miles. But yeah, 25K I think would be more up my alley. Can't recall the name of it. I will look it up real quick. Did you say what your guess was? I was distracted by my cat.
Yeah, bling. Bling,
Okay,
bling.
so we're both in agreement on that, I guess.
Yeah. When it
All
was
right.
just the like breakfast at Tiffany's, I was thinking like old Hollywood glamour. But then everything else has been like rocks. So it's they're not making it easy. I will say that.
All right, so the post on our group run page is it's officially full moon week. Who is going to party in the woods on Saturday night? All right, so yeah, it's a 50K and a 25K, and they're basically kind of questing like volunteers, like aid station volunteers, just like a support group there along the trail. Never done a trail race. I will at some point. Mine will probably be the Cat Smacker because it's part of the Natural State Running Series that I believe will be back next year. So I'll probably do that. But yeah, trail race for those of you trail runners this Saturday. I don't know if registration's closed or not, but they would probably still be open to some if you're, but you'll need to check it out ASAP. But that's what's going on, and but we'll talk about the Little Rock Marathon reveal next week and what else is going on in the running world. But I'm nervous about what Ichabod's getting into, so we're going to get off here so I can go deal with that. And until next week, we'll see y'all next time. This is Graham Powell. That's Michelle Zingoulis. This is y'all.
See ya.